Hello everybody, welcome to Straight Line Racing here for T1's Bahrain Grand Prix, round 2 of the season. I'm the commentator Owen White, and with me I've got Nathan.
Hello everybody. We're in for a more exciting race than last week, I believe. We have 16 drivers in truth. Unfortunately Matt Noah disconnected before it even started, which helps us a lot, and Patrice has joined us as well. We came second last week and probably was the fastest of the drivers, but it was a rainy track. We're in doubt that we're going to get that today at Bahrain, where I don't think I've ever seen it rain.
That'd be seen, you know.
I know it would be.
It always rains on the Thursday.
Different.
Always rains on the Thursday of the real life race, I think.
Maybe they just schedule it.
Yeah. So, I'm still confused about these people on the track, because there's some people that are out there on the softs, people are out there on mediums but not actually pushing like Cairo is, but then into the pits. Some people are still not decided on what they're going to do with their tyres. The Pirate looks to be on a flyer though. He's got rev glitch, but he's on to go fastest right now, so he looks committed. We could see a lot of interesting strategy calls here.
Maybe going for the two-stop. You know, it's a slower strategy in general. I think a few people went for it yesterday and failed miserably. But maybe going for the pole position. But like Thomas, for example.
We've got Alfie Gents McMahon here in the chat. Nice to see you. You've actually made it on time for once. Good stuff. HM Racing, by the way, just went there P2. That was on soft, so he could be committed there.
Nice I suppose.
Berra's not on a particularly quick lap, and I can't get off skin up move. Thank you again.
Well, he's on an out lap.
Ah, Jesus Christ, the game won't let me go off him. Let me see blunt, thank you.
Go see it on the
screen. He's just backed off. Oh, that's a go. Oh, right, we'll get skin.
Berra's binned it in the last corner, and he's looking at the wall at the minute.
No damage. Bad looks of it though. I'm surprised.
He's starting to show his hand.
Oh, Racing Point looks like it's put together with glue or something. That's incredible. Like proper Gorilla Glue. Right, here's Millix Jr. starting the lap. I must say, that is an incredible helmet design. I know I love going on about these, but that's a cracker.
Yeah, I think a few of them took your advice.
Oh yeah, definitely.
With the helmets. They definitely listened. As Kendon is in the chat. Hello to him.
Millix is on a slow lap. Can we find someone on a fast lap, please? Nope. Okay, well. R2's on an out lap. Surface is on an out lap. Calcos is quite far into an out lap.
This is going to be a fairly mixed up grid, I reckon, because the people at the back of the field will just think, oh, sod this and go for the softs.
Yeah.
And then let's say the faster guys will just use ahead and go for the race. And the mediums.
Yellow flags.
R2s and surface, Calcos, and so on.
Right.
And look how many people are on the 0.5.
Yes.
It's like 3 all together.
2 people on the exact same time. CIP and Chupafini. Interesting that. Looks like they've both done it on different compounds as well.
Yeah,
I'll have a look at that.
Gone with
That's
softs.
incredible. Yeah, Chupafini's done it with sauce. CIP's done it with hards and set the exact same lap time. That's crazy. Calker's up in the first sector, but not by very much. As Cairo there goes P2. And Calker's backs off.
That shows how much time there's in it for the medium runners, I suppose. So I'm expecting a few of them to break that, especially Surface, for example.
Yeah, well, speaking of him, he's to start his lap. Let's see what he does. You would expect him to be a favourite for pole, wouldn't you? He just seems so OP on this game.
Seems a lot quicker as Cairo has decided that's his lap.
Very good lap indeed. I guess. Well, then again, it's not even into the 127s. I mean, compared to the rest of the times here, it's very good, but I reckon we can still see people get into the 27s yet.
Yeah, R2 was already 4/10 up and it's halfway through the lap, so there's a bit more in it.
Yeah, service in the first sector. So, yeah, maybe that tank and Cairo won't stand as a very good one at the end, but we'll wait and see. Looks like Thomas Frandy's come out on the softs again. And he's
Well,
looking
I
to
don't
go for
think
pole.
he's going to probably beat it, to be honest, on the mediums, judging by his pace. So, he's committing to it. Or just doesn't have a clue about the strategy at all.
R2 is on for pole by about a quarter of a second at the moment. And he's only got a couple more corners to go.
Millix can do as well, because he's coming to the end of his lap. And now he's well off, he's on an outlap into. Well, not an outlap, he's on a cool down lap.
Here comes R2 to the line, shipping the 27s, and it is exactly a second quicker than his last time. Can Surface beat that? He's up by a little bit more for the middle sector, but doesn't quite get there in the end. Well, about CYP out there, but barely up at all. That's not great for him. So we need to look at HN Racing and Thomas Frandy potentially. Skin Up is retiring, so he's had a pretty disastrous qualifying there. Yeah, let's watch
CYP, probably Calcas as well.
Let's watch Thomas then.
The person under pressure really is Millix at the back as the Pirate goes P4. Oh, Millix has binned it, and that's the end of his qualifying.
Oh,
as he's lost half his front wing as well. And that's a disaster for Millix. Probably one of the quickest drivers on the grid, has binned it out of qualifying, and he will start P14.
Calcas just went P3 and Thomas just went really wide. So this gamble on Sauce is looking worse and worse and worse as this lap goes on.
But will he pip Calcas though? Which could be really annoying for Calcas to be, let's say, in that gap.
HN Racing's going to be crossing the line in about a minute and a half. He really crossed the line right at the very end of that qualifying. So look out for him still, but I would be surprised if Thomas is. He is, wow.
Thomas is 3 tenths up.
Even with that mistake in the middle sector, he's up. So that makes you wonder, what will HN Racing get up to? We'll wait and find out. But here comes Thomas to the final corner. Should really realistically get pole really against the mediums. Wouldn't be too surprising, but let's see how much by. DRS and to the line, enough ERS to get there too, and he does not go pole.
He beats Calcas. He beats Calcas to the line there, and that's P3 for Thomas now. Calcas won't be very happy with that, especially just over a tenth and a half, just behind Surface in the end. Obviously, on the soft tyres, so disadvantage on the strategy, but can't be that disappointed. The HM Racing's only just under a tenth off. His time at the minute. CYP goes ahead of him, so he probably could get back ahead of CYP.
Climbing on top of the curve there, really poor lapless. 7th only.
Yeah, he does.
Oof. He was over revving every single gear there. Did you notice that? You actually want to be doing the exact opposite. Shifting nice and early.
12,000 revs is the mark. But yeah, 6 tenths between the top 9 in general, all on different compounds.
Yes, we've got
a lot of mixture.
3 people. We've got 3 people on the sauce in the top 10. Rest on mediums, and then hards all the way back down. Remember, we'll have 16 guys for this. I'm going to quickly try and get through this. RT Surface, Thomas Calcas, Pirate Cairo, HN Racing, Blunt, CYP, Super Finney, KP91, Skin Up, Berra, and Millix Jr. And then we'll have Patrice and Matt Noah.
And you've been called a legend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've already got 11 viewers by the way, so welcome everybody. It's good seeing everyone in the chat there. For those who don't know who I am, because I see a couple of people asking there. Owen White, been a commentator here for a few seasons to be fair, so hope you're enjoying it. And we've got a good race coming up here, so yeah. Oh yeah, and obviously Nathan's our main commentator. I think everyone knows you anyway.
Yes.
It'd be a bit concerned if they didn't, to be fair, actually.
No, if they don't know who I am, then there's something slightly wrong.
Yeah.
What are you doing with your life?
Anyway, shock horror, it's not raining. So that's, yeah, shock of the century. But what are we going to see from the 6 people who get their free choice of tyres? I mean, I would expect medium to soft. Personally,
Maybe even, I don't know.
they've got to go for it, haven't they? I mean, they've
Maybe
got to.
maybe a few of the hards.
We've got one person on the hards, rest on mediums outside the top 10, so look out for Berra.
Berra.
If he doesn't get taken out, look out for him. But,
because he's going long.
he's going very long indeed.
Everyone else has gone for a more aggressive strategy to get off the line. Slightly better, I suppose. Probably KP's in a good position as well, in 11th. 11th is always a very good position if you're not qualifying on the softs anyway, to go with a different strategy to everybody else. Especially if there's rain about, it tends to be a very good place.
It's not happening. I know we wanted it to, it's not going to happen.
I want it to.
I'm sure it'll happen one day with just somebody. But, anyway, I'm just going to say as well, it is one of the longest runs down to the first corner, and it's a pretty wide first corner as well here at Bahrain. So, Thomas, you'd almost expect him to be leading into turn 1, wouldn't you? He's on those softs, they'll get a better launch by default. And with that extra run, he needs to be leading this race, because these tires, they're going to fall apart a lot more quickly than the mediums. And the further he can get ahead before they die, the better chance he has at actually winning this thing. It's such a long shot though, isn't it? But we'll see what he can do with that. But he certainly...
I think he's going to still go with a one stop, I presume. Softs to hards or something along those lines, anyway. Just depends how much they degrade, especially with that right-hander that they've just been through. Such a crucial corner. If you click that curve, you're in trouble. And yeah, that's going to be a big part of this race as well.
So they're all coming up to the grid now. I just want to give you an idea if there's anyone who's parked on the grid. Luckily, there's not. There's something there, but yeah, it's a pirate. Just going to give you an idea from R2's point of view, just how long that run is. If you're on a better tyre, you're going to have to take advantage of that, surely. But Petrus, he's going to be last then in the McLaren. We've got Matt Noah, as I say, with two drivers who are joining, Red Bull and McLaren. And they're lined up on the grid now, so we're now getting ready for the start of this one. And I will let you take it.
Oh. As the lights are going on, as we go to 3 lights, not the 5. And it's lights out, and we are off the grid, or some of us are, as it looks like skin up. Somebody's had a bad start, I can't tell. But there's lots of jostling into turn 1, as, oh my god, that's pornography. As we head down to turn 2, as Thomas did not get the great start we were talking about, and he's sat just behind Kalkas. Milix hasn't made up many positions. It's CYP who's the one that's at the back of the grid.
I thought he was standing backwards there for a second.
It's very difficult to keep up with this. This Berra's made up a good start. There's a bit of lag going off, it's fair to say.
Oh! Thomas has nearly caused an airplane accident there. He lost it. And Kalkas did very well on momentum.
I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing though.
I'm not seeing it, but I'm going to assume you're having a good time of it. And surface is off. Surface has gone wide there, locked up massively. Of course, turn 10, a massively difficult braking zone. Got away with it. They're free wide. They are free wide. They're into the wall as well. Skin up and Milix Jr. and I think Petrus, they all tried to fit into that same gap. What on earth happened there? What were they thinking? And I can see what you're saying, except for me, they aren't doing pornography. They're just sort of going. Well, they are doing pornography, but not as like aggressive as it was last game.
Oh my god, Cairo is in the gravel, or is he?
I can't tell.
I think so. As he's going, is he going side by side with these two? I don't know. On my screen, he's going side by side with Barrett, and I think that was what happened there. Yeah, I think I'm right.
He just picked his teammate up and threw him off the track.
Thomas is after Kalkas again, who's just been overtaken, I believe, and I think Kalkas has got that position back.
Jeez, these camera angles are terrible into turn 1. I want to see what's going on, and just not let me see. Oh man,
I can't see anything. It's like a thick fog.
It is actually, yeah.
I'm glad I'm not streaming this. You won't see anything.
This is where 1080p streaming comes into it. Right, so let's try and give a recap on this one. So R2 keeps his lead over Surface, and Kalkas has had a decent start to get up to 3rd. Thomas lucky to still be alive. He nearly lost it multiple times on that first lap. He's now trying to get himself back at the field. Did not get the start we expected or wanted him to get, really.
Why is Blunt so far down?
He was involved in that
backwards.
accident with Skin Up, I think. Because they... Oh, no, sorry, he was a CIP, wasn't he? Him and CIP came together on the exit of turn 2, and that is Milix Jr. trying to go side by side again in that corner. Turn 10, and this time again coming off second best, trying to get by Matt Noah, and then he'll get there because of the lock-up from the Red Bull.
He's gone straight past. As the switchback came into play, and Chupa Thingy is looking at Cairo, and I think he's just lost half front wing there. Yeah.
Very laggy,
Very nice.
Oh, Barrett off into Narnia, big slide. And down into 15th, which is effectively last. I mean, CIP is that far behind, you could almost cut him out of the race, unfortunately.
Petrus is making his move as well. As it looked like there were Cairo's in the wall at the last corner, but it was just a lagged car. As he's got a very nice slipstream here. And I don't think it'll be quite free wide, but Petrus has to be careful for the car ahead, just in case he don't punt him off. But Petrus is now up to P9. And HM Racing is kind of consolidating his place with P7, no dramas. As R2 is gone a little bit up the road of surface at this point in the race. Thomas is still holding on to the back of Kalkas, which is fair play for him.
Oh, he's going to hit him. Oh, he nearly hit him. Big lock-up. They're really struggling to turn 10, which I'm not really too surprised about. I mean, it is the most difficult braking zone, probably on the whole game, really, for anyone who's not running ABS.
I was turning like a boat, that one.
Yeah. But it looks like we're all sorts of calming down now. I don't know if Cairo is still lagging, but he's on his own.
My screen, he was everywhere.
He's on his own now, so hopefully he doesn't get too much lag bubbles, but oh, he is lagging. Petrus will have to try something. I don't know what he's going to try with the car
someone
like
else
that.
with a decent start is KP, who's gone from 11th to 6th. We spoke about that 11th spot.
Yeah.
Being the magic number, as it is, if you're not on pole.
Well, speaking of 11, Milix Jr. is going to try and put Chupa there. His sauce looked to be really gone already in that Williams, so down a position he goes. Milix Jr. up into the points, and it looks like Kalkers and Thomas are starting to reel in surface, so he's really just not having the best race so far. He went off, he nearly lost that P3.
Here goes
on that
KP
one.
round the outside of the Pirate, and I think he's managed to go right round the outside of the Pirate, and very nice indeed. Just found the extra grip.
Oh, he's
out
going
there.
back up the inside. Oh, he nearly hit him. He thought about it and he went for it, but just didn't have enough momentum. But as I was saying, Kalkers and Thomas are catching surface now. Surface isn't losing a huge amount of time as Blunt has an accident and is out of this one. I think at turn 7 that was. It's very easy to get caught on the curb on the exit. It will bounce the car up in the air like a kangaroo and you'll crash. I've
gone on board with CYP just to have a look where it was and I've realised how far back.
Oh right, yeah. Well, let's watch
Matt
anyway.
Noah has made the move on Triple Thingy, up into P11.
What was his
for the
entire
Italian.
track system? Because I think the car is already despawned. You're right, he's miles behind. I don't know where he is, but he'd be in one of the bars on the left or the right there what we were on board with. But yeah, it's very easy to get caught on the curb at turn 7. You'll just bounce like a kangaroo and it'll just shoot you off in one or the
physics
other
on that
direction.
corner just make no sense to anybody.
It's like Abu Dhabi
Just
at its
bounce,
bouncy section down the hill at the end of the first sector. It's a horrendous curb.
It's like they've installed the Canada chicane into that, just the bumps of it.
You just
It's
sausage
every
curbs.
little thing of
Just, you go onto the curb, sausage curbs just come up out of nowhere and just start to. It's like a rodeo.
And
That's
then
what
you
that
fly.
corner's like. It's like a rodeo.
There's KP is now at the front of this train, let's say. There's the Pirate is sticking with him, so they're fairly similar pace. I think the slipstream and DRS is helping the guys behind out a little bit, keeping in range of each other. There's Bear and Skin Up fighting for the Woodlands.
I must say, but really keeping his ERS quite good there. He's got 100%. And so even though everyone's catching him at the minute, although I must say, Thomas has just fallen way off on this lap. But certainly Kalkers is catching. He'll have something to defend with, although as I say, now Kalkers has still got a decent amount of ERS as well. He may not need the whole tank to get by. But that could be an interesting fight for second place. But it looks like Thomas is starting to fall back a bit.
Oh, that's wide from surface. Using all the track and more on the exit.
Yes. You can do that at that corner. It doesn't give you any warnings. It's a bit like
Tends to be
Stowe
not
on Britain.
particularly quick enough.
Well, you can do it though. You can save yourself on an accident. Anyway, here comes Calker's DRS. Remember, you get
Bit
up
too
to
far,
turn 4 as well, so you get 2 tries. So this one could just be used to catch up, and then HN Racing by way into the pits. Maybe Chip Finney in there as well. No, only HN Racing. So he's the first of the sophomores to blink. I reckon Thomas will be pretty soon after. He's really struggling now.
Petrus is caught up to the back of Cairo, and I think both of them are starting to close a little bit on the paramount.
Oh my god.
Dropping back at you. Oh, Jesus.
Well, that shows how much quicker Petrus is, doesn't it?
Nearly lost his whole front wing going from there. Near rear-ended Cairo as he legs forward. And oh, he's lost the car. That is an interesting one. And that's a position for Petrus. And
oh! Yeah, that's laggy as hell. I wonder if he's in... He is inside him, like, but I wonder if he's in any way aware of what's going on. I tell you what, he'll have a good time watching this one back. Anyway, look at this. Calcus is right on surface now. He's had 3 DRS in this lap to catch up.
Thomas is dropping back off the back of Calcus to the other battle. It's just a little bit further back.
Yeah, his tires are gone.
Yes.
Here comes Calcus. DRS. Let's see. He used more ERS on the exit than the surface. That may already give him the advantage. But down to turn 1. Gap now 4 seconds to the leader as Thomas pits. But here comes Calcus. Will he try the inside or will he have to go around the outside? And he's gone a bit deep, but that could be useful. He'll get a really nice exit here, but he did have to back off. So
got squeezed on the apex. Unfortunately for him.
I just feel he could have switched to the inside at turn 1 really easily and decided not to. I wonder why he didn't do that, actually.
Thomas has gone mediums.
2 stopping there. Now,
We'll
Finney. Front wing and hards. So he's going to 1 stop. And
that's the sort of strategy you'd expect from the supers.
And HN Racing also doing the 1 stop, or doing the 2 stop. He's on mediums as well, so that must be 2 medium runs to the end. I'd assume maybe 1 medium and 1 soft. Cairo was ahead of Millix. I don't know if that's actually ahead of Millix, but the game says he is, so I'm going to believe it.
He keeps lagging back and forth. It's kind of difficult to predict where he is.
Yeah.
So we've got a radar screen over there. It's back and forth. We don't really know. All we do know is Petrus has got a bit of free air now to assert his authority on this race.
I'm telling you what, surface going wide there certainly is an advantage at turn 13. He just flies off on that corner and he makes so much time up. One of them Calgary is going to decide to do that as well.
We got a warning for this lap, I think.
Yeah, I think he may have pushed it a little bit. I mean, it started out taking way more time than he should have.
Yeah, that's what I was seeing before, and maybe the track limits may bite back at him. Might calm down now. He's getting warnings for it, but
Millix must have front wing damage in the pits. I don't know if you mentioned it earlier, but he must have front wing damage. Let's have a look. Let's see if he's changing the front wing. He is indeed.
Yes.
Hard tires today. Oh, he's leaving. Okay. Well, you could do that as well, but you know, I liked your helmet design. I wanted to see more of that.
What was
yeah. We got a car right. Barra's off. Don't hit anyone, please. Be careful.
New Magnus.
I thought for a split second he was going to drive into Thomas there. I had a bad angle of it. Looks like Calkers is starting to fall the back at surface. Maybe he should have taken his opportunity when he had it. I mean, it's only lap 8. We're only, just about a third of the way through the race, nearly. So he has plenty of chances, but I just feel he could have done it on the previous lap 7. But he's still got less ERS than surface. It seems really easy to save your ERS around this track as HN Racing gets past Berra. So yeah, that's been on the hards, not great for him. So unfortunately, his race he's been off the track a few times now. So sadly, we won't ever see. I don't think the full potential of that strategy, hard to soft.
No, he wasn't too optimistic before the race. But yeah. Calcas is still looking at the rear end of that Renault.
I think you can pretty much run.
What you can do with it.
You can pretty much run 0 ERS this entire sector, and that is what the service is doing. All these slow bits, it's just not really needed to use ERS, and riding on board, and you can see he's just saving it all the way up to 100. You don't need it. If anything, it makes it easier to get into this braking zone at turn 10 because you're already at a slower speed on entry. Saying that though, he still has a massive lockup anyway, but yeah, that's where they're saving it, so it is seemingly very easy to save your ERS on this track. Which is good because it's an absolute nightmare on other tracks like Australia last week.
And the next person to get up to the back of Cairo will be Matt Noah. And he's a second back now as we've got an incident in sector 1.
Again, his race has just gone from bad to just embarrassing, unfortunately.
Behind CYP at this point in the race. It can't be going too well.
See, I think what happens when you have one spin on this game, it just overheats the rear tyres and you're screwed.
Oh, HM Racing's gone for a wander round the hairpin.
Half a second the gap at this battle for second. This could be Calker's chance if he sets it up properly, or maybe even surprise his service on the inside of turn 1.
Not quite.
Little lock-up though from the Renault driver. Could help Calker's up the hill.
It just seems to get the exits on the exits of the corners.
Exceeding track limits for Thomas. That's not gone well. I wonder if he's done it at that final corner. He must have done it at the final corner. Interesting that. Didn't know you can get big penalties for that, but I'm sure he'll probably try and get it removed.
Yeah, the interesting thing is he's our head steward.
Well, we know how that one's going, don't we?
No, we've got lots of stewards, not just him. But I didn't really think about that when I asked him to race.
Takes out the whole field. Anyway. Well,
yeah.
In my defence,
this went bad.
So lap 10 then of the Bahrain Grand Prix. We've just hit 15 viewers. Hello, welcome. And we've got a pretty good fight for second here. R2 looks to be romping clear at the front, but certainly for P2 we're looking at a pretty good battle eventually. It does seem to be a bit of a tire saving phase, doesn't it? It just feels that they need to get to that first pit stop with some form of tire life. Expect that pit stop in the next few laps as well, by the way, because it may even be this lap. In fact, it is. Oh, Calker's, he thought about it. He went for as much slipstream as possible there on the surface before service entered the pit lane. That could be the deciding factor of who gets out ahead there. Well, let's see how far service falls back. What sort of traffic will he be in? I'm sure he hasn't calculated it in any way, shape or form, so it could be a surprise to him. We don't really have any sort of close gaggles though.
Skin Up is coming down the straight now. I think he might just come out behind Skin Up actually. I think the answer is yes on that
he'll
one.
jump him. I'm sure Skin Up will try and pass him. No real point really, is there? Although
No,
cold tires, I mean, Skin Up has a chance. He has got DRS on him, but he's a bit too far back.
And Dusty from Tier 2 raced in ILL1 tonight.
Oh man, did you rage quit? Oh rip. I hope you give me. You better wish me like an hour free. I need luck.
You will win, Owen. We've got belief.
Ah, thanks. Good. Yellows.
Another incident.
Is
that Barrow again?
Barrow, what are you doing, man? This is not a demonstration of donuts and all
Sector
that.
1.
He just keeps doing it. It just seems like, say, when you have one spin on these tires, it screws you over. It just wrecks the tire temps. R2 now, race leader in the pits, as is Calkers. Should be relatively easy for Service to get out ahead, but I wonder if Calkers will maybe hold up the Ferrari a tad. No. Looks like McLaren are also out for the Pirates. Everyone here going on to hards.
Will Surface be able to get Calkers? I think so.
It's going to be pretty
Yeah.
big, the gap, I think. Yeah, look at that. He's going to be beaten by Skinner, potentially. We'll see. Much he'd give it more of a go
I
in
think
this
it's
round
fairly
this time.
similar to the last lap.
He should have given it more of a go this time, didn't he? As Cairo, I don't know where he's went to set that fastest lap, but maybe he's managed to get himself under control with his car issues or internet issues. But we'll claim it's a car issue.
With that big undercut as well from Thomas, I know he probably has to stop again, but it was there
Hasn't
or
really worked out
thereabouts.
for him, has it? Though.
It's kind of the same.
And he's
Takes
pitting again
count,
anyway
doesn't it?
later on. I wonder if we're going to see. Remember all the way back in time to season 4 when a little known guy called Thorium, only in his second or third race, did a 2-stop here and absolutely flew through the field. And it was probably
Yes,
the first time.
I remember that.
Probably the first time we got to see his real pace. It was brilliant 2-stop. So I mean, it could work out for Thomas. It's worked out for people before.
I don't think he has quite the pace of Thorium.
Well,
I think that has to be said.
well, was he racing that day actually, Thomas? He could well have been.
No,
Was he in his AOR phase, his emo phase?
Yeah, he moved to AOR season 4, so season 3 was his last. And now he's back.
Yes. So surface then, fastest lap. That's not good news for Calcurs, although he is there actually. To be fair.
KP comes out in a bit of a train, it's fair to say.
I think he'd be quite
Comes at the
happy to be
back
that
of
close to Thomas, though, won't he? He's in DRS with him. I mean, that's pretty much a free position for him.
Well, he's not a million miles away from Calcurs, which is always helps.
As Thomas tries to have a go on Skin up here, the longer he gets held up, the higher the chances for Thomas, for Pirate, for Petrus to all catch up.
Petrus lost a lot of time for the back of Pirate. He's lost about 2 seconds. So I wonder if he's made a mistake somewhere along the line. Because Cairo's closer to Petrus than Petrus is to Pirate now.
Oh, look how painful this is on board with Thomas. It is a 6-lap difference in the tyres and 12-lap difference when you look at KP. Thomas has to get this done here and Skin up. Doesn't like to be defending it at all, so... Thomas probably took a little longer than he should have there, but got there eventually.
Now at least he's got a car between KP now. But KP will probably just fly down the straight. Skin up looks to it again. And KP's running in the lowest ERS mode possible at the minute. By running pretty much from nothing. And is Skin up pitting? Yes.
Yes.
So that'll help him out a bit.
You've got people in the top 3 all trading their fastest laps. It's currently Calcurs who holds it at the moment as he starts to catch up to surface. It is only like 6 seconds from Calcurs to the race leader. It's not out of the question that he can win it yet, especially if we get penalties or safety cars or anything. Safety car, what am I on about? But yeah, it could happen. It could happen.
Not at this point, I don't think.
Yeah.
We've given up hope on that
We're
one.
not even halfway through the race yet, though. Anything can happen. KP's on a really good lap, by the way, already. He's right on Thomas's tail as Thomas locks up. Thomas keeps locking up there. Did it on his qualifying lap, cost him pole, and he's sort of doing it again here at turn 10. He's just
maybe it's his strategy.
Yes, I know.
For a better exit.
Well, I don't know. But it could cost him at some point, we'll see.
Did just see how much more curve he's taking as well compared to KP, who's keeping it pretty much in the middle of the track. But yeah, it looks only a matter of time before the Torosso driver gets past.
So, I wonder who's going to get the fastest lap this time. R2 doesn't. Surface doesn't. Calcurs. Ah, well, looks like the fastest lap game is over. But here comes KP. Down the main street. He sets his fastest lap. He's got a super run. 210 miles an hour. Down the inside. Can he get it slowed down? Yes, he can. But what about Thomas on the exit? He'll have a lovely run up the hill here, but he's not using his ERS, so he's not going to get fast.
Yeah, he didn't put up too much of a fight on that one. I think it was a battle he was going to lose. It's probably not his battle anyway, in the overall scheme of the race.
CIP makes his second stop after obviously being involved in lap 1 with an incident, but he won't come out last because Berra's had his adventures and, well, Millix is a ghost, so...
No, I don't think we should count Millix in this one. He's not really a runner.
Yellow flag for Cairo.
2 and it's Cairo.
I think you can see some Ferrari front wing now, so that must be where Blunt went and died as well. I thought it was one of those barriers, and it was. But yeah, Cairo is out of the race, and of course you're not going to get a safety car or anything like that. But we'll see what that sort of does. Will it bring up maybe a virtual?
And that puts Skinner back into the points.
Anyway, I think that's probably for the better that Cairo was out of this one now because of his lagginess. Looks like Calcus just cannot catch anymore, by the way. Just not happening. It always happens this, doesn't it? It's always like super close in the first stint and then just not at all for the rest of the race. It's weird. It's depressing, but well. So it's lap 16 then, we might as well go through the order. R2, he's led it from the start. I mean, he was being a bit challenged by Surface. I wonder if Surface regrets not being a bit more aggressive into turn 1, but anyway, R2 does lead it. We've got yellows. Must be Barrett, of course it's Barrett, off at the final corner. But yeah, it's R2 leading from Surface in second place.
He's coming into the pits.
Surface is probably going to be a bit
I
disappointed.
think he's going to fall behind Millix's ghost car.
Yes. But I feel Surface might end up leaving this race a bit disappointed unless he can win it from here. I don't see it happening now. Calker's third. I think he's gone up a few places. That's actually been obviously he's made the most places. Calker's went up 1 place. KP. Yep. You said about that P11, he's made 7 spots, so now he's up into P4. Thomas down 2, it was never really going to work on the soft tire, he just wasn't really quick enough on that first stint, and he's going to have to pit again anyway. Pirate, down 1, but will go up 1 eventually, so he's in P6. Petrus joined late, went from the back of the field, now P9. Same Matt Noah went from P15 up to P8, so both of those drivers having a very good day. 8th Gen Racing in P9, he's went down 2 spots. I think he's also on the same strategy as Thomas, so not really going to work for him. Skin up 10th. Well, he's seen actually quite a bit of him today because of all the pit stops. We saw him being like, you know, slight threat. Cheaper Finney, P11 at the minute. And then we've got CYP. And somehow Berra is behind Millix's ghost car, so we're going to have to count Millix's car as well. Who's only going to win 1 thing today, and that's the best helmet competition.
He's beating Berra at the minute. Which is fairly interesting.
And he's just been lapped by R2. So that obviously means
ghost car got out of the way,
Barrett is a lap down, of course, that means as well, so that could be interesting to see how he deals with the cars lapping him. Could it create some drama? I'm thinking Esteban Ocon and Max Verstappen. Don't really know what to watch now. I think we've got...
No. Waiting for Thomas to pit, really.
Yeah, I think he's going to be in the pit for the next couple of laps, isn't he? He'll probably go on to another set of mediums.
Racing as well. There's Barrett has overtaken the ghost car.
Shot.
Or has he? He's lifted off.
He's got him back.
to get Surface past him.
Battle of the ages. He's got him back on the inside, and when I mean that, I literally mean on the inside, through the inside. Oh, icky. So he's been a good lapped car anyway. I mean, it's a shame though to see him down this far. I mean, he had such a promising race up from you know, he was on the hards. He'd had a decent start, but then he got hit by his teammate, and then that sort of ruined everything.
Then he spun a few times and
Yeah.
had a good adventures. His Patrice is
Oh, for
slowly
God's
closing in on
sake.
the pirate.
What did you do now, Barra? Is that your creative way of getting around the way? He's done
He's
what,
just trying to find.
do you remember what the pirate did in Q1? Or was it, well, it was the pirate in Q, or well, just qualifying. He just decided to
Yes,
go off at turn 1. He did that exact same thing. I mean, we weren't streaming at the time, but imagine that, but at turn 1.
Let's go for an adventure.
Yes.
See what the track is like there.
R2 sets his fastest lap then, so he's got plenty of pace still to use, which I'm sure to some people would be a massive groan of disappointment. And Thomas makes his pit stop.
We're gonna see how far he falls.
He's gonna want to be, I guess,
probably just ahead of Skin Up around there.
Taking his stop go
Mason
penalty.
joins him.
I would say he would want to be around Skin Up, but Skin Up, yeah, he'll get Skin Up. He'll be well ahead of him, as will 8gen Racing, possibly. We'll wait and see. Maybe not 8gen Racing, but definitely Thomas should be ahead. There is the Haas ahead of Red Bull.
Yeah.
And then here comes now for Romeo behind a Williams. So that is Chupafini up into the points, but will his tyres get to the end? Probably, but not in a great state. He obviously started in sauce as well, and that didn't quite work out either. Certainly wasn't the best strategy today.
I think Kalkas is starting to make a little bit of headway with Surface.
Side by side, by the way. Sorry, we've got HN Racing and CIP side by side. Ahead goes the Haas and HN Racing. He knows he's got slightly better tyres, so he can just sit back and wait a bit. And do you know what? CIP, after a dreadful lap 1, looking like he could be a contender for points again if someone else retires in this race, who's ahead of him anyway. So that'll be good. I'm sure he'll be very happy about that. Because he was, I don't know if the crash is his fault with the Ferrari of I assume Blunt, it must have been Blunt, wouldn't it? At turn 3 up the hill. I mean, they came together, we saw it briefly in the background. But yeah, I think the CLP can get a point, that would be pretty impressive from him. Quick reminder, by the way, as well, is that whoever has the fastest lap would get the fastest lap point if they were in the top 10. So CLP sort of needs to get a point, and he'll actually get 2 points. At least if he can get into the top 10, so that is something else to think about. Unless, of course, someone who's on softs set or mediums, new mediums, sets the fastest lap. And, well, no prizes for guessing who just calls that yellow flag.
Interestingly enough, Cairo is seeing what we're seeing on our screens.
Oh my goodness. Barra,
Yeah.
he's managed to fail in taking himself out.
Oh dear. His car's doing a jump. What's his car doing?
God, couldn't you have taken a wheel off? I could have actually caused a safety car there. So he tried to drive straight into your wall and it didn't even take him out. That just sums his day up, doesn't it?
Connection isn't just on our screen, it's on his as well. So that's always nice to know that our screens aren't just going divvy.
Yes.
For some reason. This Patrice is really reeling in the pirate now. He's pulled pretty much 7 or 8 tenths on the last lap. So he's gonna, in a couple laps time, attempt to make a move anyway. Kalkas has dropped back a little bit from surface. Kalkas using all the ERS he's got. As Thomas is going for the fastest lap. Oh, surface has run wide.
Again,
into the hairpin.
He does that. He's done that once already in this race.
Obviously, he's got a really nice exit, but he's lost about 6 tenths. I don't think that was on purpose, though. I think he genuinely locked it into the hairpin. So he definitely didn't gain anything.
Right, so it's lap 22 now. We've got, can't even count, we've got 8 laps to go. And like I say, the issue is no one can catch, even when they're in DRS. Quite tight HN Racing hasn't managed to pass CIP. I guess it's maybe a testament to how quick CIP has been today. And they're both catching on Super Finney, who's on older tyres.
It's been quick. Unfortunately, the opening few laps for him was shocking. So.
Yeah, but I mean, we could be in for a decent freeway fight for the last point, or in CIP's case, well, actually, no, he doesn't have a fast lap anymore, does he? Thomas will have that.
Thomas has that.
So a pretty important fight that we could be watching very soon indeed, because that gap's only 2.3 seconds and closing pretty just gone quickly, because I mean it's 8 laps different in the tyres between CYP and the GFN. It should be pretty simple.
Yeah, Petrucci still making a little bit of gains on the Pirate. He seems to be fairly consistent now. There's two McLarens who've done really well. Really, I mean, Petrucci one ended good, and Pirate's been fairly consistent. Not quite on the pace as the top guys, but
and there is
pretty much all they can hope for.
HN Racing on the outside, trying to go for it, but once again managing to not get by. But yeah, like I said, I'm pretty impressed with CFP actually. I mean, I'm surprised he didn't give up. He could have easily done what Milix Jr. did and just left, but fair enough, he's fine.
The trippy thing, he'll be fairly cheesed off if he doesn't get that final point. He's just clinging on to. Vinny's Williams. Obviously, his teammate is away at the minute. I think he might be back next week. Danny. He's away in Costa Rica at the minute, so. Yeah.
Well, I would say I'd like to be in Costa Rica. I would say I'd like to be in Costa Rica, but honestly, that's the last place I want to be. How could anyone survive this hot weather, and then worse in places like Costa Rica? These people are insane, honestly.
Yeah, maybe it's just hot weather training or something. But Kalka's, the gap is the same, it's just staying the same. It's really annoying. Just make its mind up, will it close or not?
I'm going to say no, because it would have closed by now. I mean, he's on 1 lap near tyres. They had to make a mistake surface to even get caught out of it.
Surface has 2 warnings, and so does Kalka's, who's just picked that one up for running wide. So a penalty could play a part.
Here is CYP now.
Second of the Pirate.
CIP just looks so quick right now. He looks like he could pass at any corner, and Chippy Penny's off to Narnia. There he goes into P10. CYP pressures the Williams driver out of the points.
Yeah, pressured him through 1 corner.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, he was looking for the whole lap pretty much. But as you say, 2 McLaren teammates getting pretty close to each other. 1 lap near tyres on Petrucci's car. He's making better use of it than Kalka's is to surface anyway. So we'll see if we can see the 2 McLarens have a nice little ding-dong here. We've got 6 laps to go in this race, so plenty of time to decide this one. More ARS for Petrucci, so you have to say the ball really is in his court right now.
Yeah, they're just hoping they don't come together.
Meanwhile, everyone else in the field is hoping for it.
Yeah, especially people like Matt Noah, who are about 7 seconds back.
So, looks like Kalkers is gaining by about a 10th or something like that on this lap, but then he loses it again. It's like surface is a lot better on the traction or something. I don't know what it is, but every time Kalkers catches, it just goes straight back out again. Ah, that'll be why. His surface, the whole race he's been saving that ARS, and he's just using it in the straights. That would explain all of it, wouldn't it, actually? Fair enough. Okay, so that's why surface is so far ahead. Or so, able to control the gap. As you can see, Kalkers is down on ARS and down on fuel. he's pushing harder than Surface, but Surface is better at saving the ARS, so actually you're going to say that's pretty clever from him. And here we go, we've got two McLarens fighting us into turn 1. Patrice really close, an extra 100 metres there he would have had to go. But we've now got a second DRS zone up the hill, 5 laps for the Pirate to hold on. So what must be a pretty good performance from P5. I'm sure he would love to keep it, but there goes teammate down the inside. And
he's looking around the outside again, like they did earlier in the race. No, not quite getting side by side enough.
Yeah, Patrice was much faster there, wasn't he? There was no real point in fighting it, but who was P6, wouldn't he, at the end of the day?
Yeah. First points of the season wasn't here last week. Just nice to get off the mark for him, I think.
Here comes HN Racing.
Some of the pace he's been showing for a while.
HN Racing demoting Chupafuni to sadly last. And Calcus gets his 3-second time penalty.
I don't think he's been that bad compared to some of the people.
It's just unfortunate strategy, I guess. He decided not to do the 2-stop method, and it's cost him. But yeah, a 3-second time penalty now for Calcus. KP91 will need a bit of a masterclass to catch, but it is possible he could maybe catch. The Pirate, by the way, still on the back of his teammate. Looking like he could have another go, but it's just like what Surface is doing. Patrice has just got the ERS saved so much that he will actually potentially drive away from his teammate, even though he's got DRS.
Maybe on the exit, possibly. Like,
oh, he's going to close. Oh!
He's hit him, and this is what they didn't want.
He's fine,
and
like
he's going pretty quickly. Because
smash his front wing to bits, but there's still enough of it there to, I think, not warrant a pit stop. But oh, what a shame! Why didn't he just go to the inside? He could have made it work, but he went outside. I mean, he was out of control the whole time. I'm not trying to make excuses, but he could have at least tried to salvage it. Instead, though, he ran to the back, and thank God he didn't put his teammate into a spin. Because that could have been quite an interesting and quite fun situation to watch in the chat afterwards.
I think it'll still be a fairly interesting.
Yeah.
But Calcus is actually closing 6/10.
Yeah, better late than never, I guess. But he's got a penalty now. He's got to hit the surface, doesn't he?
Does he have a penalty? Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Surface is one warning away, so maybe under a bit of pressure.
It's a shame that, because Calcus got 2 of his warnings, you know, in 3 laps. He was rather consistent before. I wonder if he's just tried to put the hammer down a bit more and it's just not gone well. What this does mean, though, is he can afford 2 more excursions, which some people would class as cheating. I personally think that, do you know what, if you have warnings there to exploit them.
Corner cutting points.
Well, as I say, listen, some people have won league races because they knew that they had an extra little token corner cut they could take, and it's not against the rules. It's a bit of a dick move, if I can say that like that way, but it's not it's not illegal. But I will see if Calcus uses those corner cuts to his advantage. Patrice has a penalty. That would have been a bit of a factor, but since the Pirate has already run into him before, it doesn't really matter. He's got 3 laps to get to the end, and Matt Noah, has to be said, is catching him pretty quickly, as you would expect with a full front wing compared to about half a front wing. But yeah, Calcus, well, look at this, actually. Surface has got a full tank of ERS. At this point, he's going to have about 2 laps to go.
There's a corner cutting token.
He's used one. But, like, you know, Surface at this point could probably just go and do the next 2 laps fully on overtake and maybe save 0 at
there we go.
Oh, we'll see though. DRS. He might get past. Surface hopefully will have asked his Jeffrey if he's got a penalty, the guy behind. But then again, maybe he can't maybe take that risk. What if he gets a penalty? He's only one warning away himself. Oh,
there's contact.
Calcus, man. He had 1 chance.
Just tried to get back across the track, and he's swerving, maybe in disgust of something or other.
Metaphorically,
maybe he wasn't given enough room. I don't know. I think it was just 2 into 1.
He was lost the back end on the exit. It was gone before it even started that run up the hill. And By the way, R2 is now nearly 10 seconds clear. Could well end up being 10 seconds clear at the end. He's only got 1.5 laps to go, mind you, but have to say he's had a fantastic day. R2 showing the form that I've missed a bit from him actually. I haven't seen him having dominant races like this for a while. I'm trying to remember the last sort of proper dominant race I've seen him have. Yeah, well, guess it doesn't really matter. New season, new hope, new hope. He's certainly
win.
giving himself hope. Did he race in round 1? Oh, obviously I wasn't here.
No, because he's racing as a reserve.
Oh. Why? Get him in full time, man.
Why not? I know, I think it's while AOR starts, I don't know.
And if he doesn't like it, then tough. Because he starts the final lap and he is being dominant today. He hasn't lost that lead once.
If the Pirate picks up a penalty, which could be fairly crucial.
That could be curtains, yeah, that could be P7.
Actually, no, I rephrase that, that is not curtains, because Matt Noah has 2 penalties himself.
Well, it could still be curtains with a front wing damage. You just never know how much he's going to lose in that last lap.
4 seconds in 1 lap?
It's possible with that front wing damage.
It's improbable.
It's improbable, but it is possible.
I don't think he lost 4 seconds on the last lap.
Right, Calcutta isn't going to get past until maybe the last corner, if even that. Has he used his tokens yet? Let's see how many of these tokens he's used. He can use 2, remember? If he has used them both. Okay, so he can't use any more. He's used them. He did use them. He took my advice, but he couldn't get past with them. He used them on the last lap and in this current lap. And look at this, R2 is on to set his fastest lap on the last lap. I don't think it'll be a fastest overall lap. Oh, actually, no, do you know what? It might be. We could be about to see R2 take all 26 points. Let's see. Round the final corner, he's using everything he's got. And R2 to the line is going to win at Bahrain. A very dominant performance. And the fastest lap to go with it. Here comes Surface round the last corner. He did well enough to keep the defence strong, and he takes on P2. I wonder if he could use that ERS more though. He could have used it more. He may have had a chance of catching, but like I say, R2 fastest out in the last lap. Extraordinary performance. KP P4 from 11. Great job for him there. Petrus probably had a bit of a heart attack when he saw his teammates smash into him, but luckily they both survived. It's P5 for the guy that started right down in plumb last. The Pirate is going to stay ahead of Matt Noah as hard as Matt Noah tries. And they're 6th and 7th. Thomas had the complete wrong strategy as it turned out. And fun fact, I genuinely thought soft to hard may have been the better strategy, but he didn't even try that. Stupid Finney tried that, and well, look where he turned up. And Thomas
Yeah.
to the line. He is. Skin Up is coming home in P9. CIP close behind. Is there any penalties to be taken there? No, so CIP gets 10. And I'm just waiting for HN Racing. And out of fuel, Cheaper Finney, I think.
Yes.
Or has he got a puncture? Has he got a puncture? He's got a real left puncture, that's what it was. I thought he was snaking a bit left. He isn't out of fuel, he's just got a puncture. Oh. How many laps has he been on those tires? 22.
22.
Yeah.
That's what your strategy looks
Listen,
like.
I can be wrong sometimes. Oh well, he's last. Still, for Williams, that's a pretty nice performance. I'm sure they would take a 12th any day of the week. Although saying that they have a point in real F1 now, so maybe they wouldn't.
No.
I see you recruiting new drivers in the chat. Good to see.
I'm always at it.
Always the businessman.
Yes.
Well, 2 Finns and a Greek person on the podium. That's for you. I could have said that better. But yeah, your podium then for the second round of the season here in SLRT1. A very deserving podium as well. I reckon Calcars and Surface might well have their own regrets, but yeah, that has been the race then. I've got to go get ready for ILR. He's got to go get ready for A1. Is it you're doing next?
Yes, I am racing in A1.
Well,
Yay.
good luck with that.
First league race back.
You sound very excited.
Yes. I've been practicing hard and I'm still slower than you.
Oh dear, I'm sorry.
It's demoralising, this.
Yeah. Not that bad. Anyway, though, thank you everyone for watching. We got pretty good viewers today, so I'm really happy that people were able to stick around. Hopefully we made it entertaining for you. And we'll be back next week with China. Something which I feel is going to be probably better known as the Taiwan Grand Prix.
Yes.
In the beta,
I will
anyway.
not be here next week.
Oh, rip.
Rip the league.
Yeah, everything goes
I mean, I'm
completely
mocking
wrong.
weeks aren't both here next week.
But I think, certainly on the beta anyway, China was a complete mess, really, for Taiwan. It was horrible. So it could be another interesting one for the strategy, but anyway, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's actually get there first. So, I'm going to all right. That's been Nathan. Hope you enjoyed the 1080p 60 frames per second streaming. Hopefully nothing went wrong with it. And I should be here next week unless I get called up for SLR 1. But anyway, see you. Goodbye. Safe travel.